Have you ever wondered if the humble penny in your pocket could be worth a life-changing amount? Picture this: a coin so rare, so valuable, that it could potentially sell for over $1 million. Yes, we're talking about the 1991 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Most people don't think twice about their loose change, yet collectors and investors know that a single rare coin can open the doors to a lifestyle of unimaginable wealth. Today, I'm about to take you on a journey through the secrets of this extraordinary penny and show you exactly how you can recognize it, where to sell it, and most importantly, why you should be on the lookout now. If you've ever dreamed of cashing in on a rare find, today could be the day. So, how did a regular-looking penny from 1991 get to be so valuable? For most of us, pennies are just loose change, right? We toss them into jars, forget about them, and eventually cash them in for coffee money. But this particular penny is different. The 1991 D Lincoln penny is a special breed, minted in Denver and part of a batch known to have some unique features that make collectors obsessed. Now, if you're already getting excited, hold on. Because what's fascinating is that this coin was circulating among us, hiding in plain sight. It took years for collectors to realize its true value, and here's where it gets even more thrilling. This coin isn't just worth a few hundred or even a few $1,000s, it's potentially worth over $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine the thrill of finding a coin in your drawer, thinking it's just a penny, only to discover it's the key to a fortune. Okay, I know what you're thinking, a penny worth $1 million? Sounds too good to be true, right? But stay with me because we're about to dive into why this coin is so rare and how you can actually spot one for yourself. The million-dollar question: why is this penny worth so much? Well, it comes down to something coin collectors call mintage errors. When coins are minted, there can be tiny mistakes or unique marks that make some coins one of a kind. This scarcity and uniqueness can make a huge difference in the coin's market value, and in the case of the 1991 D penny, there are certain variations that make collectors go wild. Imagine finding a small detail on a coin, a different alignment, a unique mark, or a slight variation in its structure. That's what makes the difference between a regular penny and one worth a fortune. And here's the best part: even a small error can increase the value by thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is no ordinary collector's item, it's an investment waiting to happen. So, you're probably wondering, how can I tell if I have the 1991 D penny that's worth millions? I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why the timing is critical. The current market for rare coins has never been hotter. With a growing number of collectors and investors seeking out unique pieces, demand is skyrocketing. Now, this 1991 D Lincoln penny is like a unicorn for coin enthusiasts, which means the right buyer could be out there, willing to pay an astronomical amount for it. But here's where the urgency really kicks in. The value of rare coins can fluctuate based on trends, auctions, and collector interest. Waiting too long could mean missing out on a high market, or worse, letting a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip through your fingers. In other words, timing is everything. What would you do if you found $1 million penny? Would you keep it for yourself, or cash in right away? Go ahead and imagine it for a second, because it's possible. So, let's get into the exciting part: how to know if you have this rare penny. Here's a checklist you need to follow. Look for the D mint mark. First things first, the D below the year means it was minted in Denver. It's a key identifier, so check carefully. Inspect for errors. Look for anything unusual, whether it's a misalignment, a slight doubling of the image, or an odd texture. These subtle errors can be the $1 million ticket. Examine the condition. Condition is everything. Coins that are uncirculated or barely used can fetch far higher prices. So if it looks pristine, you might be looking at a treasure. At this point, if you think you have a rare 1991 D penny, get a professional appraisal. There are reputable coin appraisers who can help you determine the true worth. And when you're ready to sell, consider auctioning it at a well-known auction house. These buyers are serious about rare finds and are prepared to pay big. So there you have it. One tiny penny could change your life, opening doors to a new lifestyle, financial freedom, and possibly even generational wealth. It's thrilling, isn't it? And the best part? This treasure could be hiding in your own pocket, waiting to be discovered. Remember, the right moment to act is now. Go check your pennies, look out for that 1991D, and don't delay. Who knows, today could be the start of an incredible journey toward wealth, adventure, and the life you've always dreamed of. So, if you're ready to start hunting for hidden treasure, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you the secrets to uncovering hidden value in everyday items. Who knows what other million-dollar finds are waiting for you? Don't let this one pass you by. After all, the next big fortune could be right in your pocket. Today, we're talking about a penny worth up to $1.3 million, and it could be hiding in your change. So, ask yourself, what would you do if your next penny turned out to be worth more than your car, maybe even your house? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes the 1997 D-Mint Mark Lincoln Wheat penny so valuable, and how to spot the key details that could make you a millionaire. Trust me, by the end of this video, you won't be able to look at spare change the same way again. Imagine for a moment the thrill of discovering something you thought was small and worthless, like a penny, is actually a massive payday. It's happened to a few, and it could happen to you too. In today's story, the main character is the 1997 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny. You might already know that wheat pennies are worth more than face value, but the story doesn't stop there. Now, what makes this particular penny stand out? Well, in the world of rare coins, details are everything. The smallest minting error or rare marking can be a gold mine. The 1997 D-Mint Mark penny has some of these special features, making it incredibly valuable. For the right collector, even up to $1.30 million. And yes, we're talking about a single penny here, not an entire piggy bank. Just one little copper coin that could be worth more than a yacht. So, why this penny? Why 1997? Why the D? Let's dive in. Every valuable coin has a unique story. The 1997 D wheat penny, produced at the Denver Mint, came with a few mysterious traits that have made it highly collectible. You might not see these details at first glance, but these quirks have driven collectors to pay astronomical amounts. The reason for this is simple. Coin collectors are like detectives. They're hunting for details, unique marks, mint errors, anything that makes a coin stand out. Think of it like a hidden code, something that only the trained eye can spot. These traits, like mint errors or doubled dies, tell a story about the history of US currency, and collectors will pay big to own a piece of that story. And it's these imperfections, the flaws, that make a coin one of a kind, that are turning some pennies into hidden treasures. Could your penny have one of these rare traits? Stay with me, this is where it gets interesting. Are you reaching for your old penny jar yet? Don't worry, after this you just might. Now, you're probably wondering, why would anyone pay $1 million for a penny? Well, in the collector's world, the answer comes down to rarity and demand. There are millions of 1997 D pennies out there, but only a tiny percentage have these valuable errors. Think of it like winning the lottery. Your penny could be one of those lucky few. And the market is hotter than ever because so many people are looking to add rare coins to their collections, especially those in pristine condition. The best part? Even if you find a 1997 D penny with minor errors or just somewhere, it could still be worth thousands. So, we're not talking all or nothing here. There's a wide range of possibilities, and each one is more exciting than the last. Still with me? Because there's more. What if I told you that certain features can mean the difference between a few $100s and over $1 million? So, how can you tell if your penny is the one collectors are looking for? There are 3 main traits you want to look for in a 1997 D penny. First, check for any doubling on the date or letters, a common but valuable minting error. Even the smallest doubling can make a huge difference. Second, take a close look at the mint mark itself. Anything unusual there? That's a sign it could be worth thousands. Finally, the condition. Yes, even a penny that's 20+ years old can still be considered in near mint condition. If yours looks pristine, you might have hit the jackpot. Equals if you're starting to feel like you need a magnifying glass and a detective badge, you're not far off. Now, here's the catch. Rare coins like this aren't just discovered every day. In fact, as time passes, they only become harder to find. Collectors are out there right now, hunting for these pennies, and the market is constantly shifting. A coin worth $1 million today might be worth even more tomorrow, or someone else might find it before you do. Don't just set this aside. Grab that change jar, check your old wallets, and look through every drawer. Your penny might be in there, waiting for its turn to change your life. So, what are you waiting for? Go on your own treasure hunt and start examining those pennies. And if you find something that catches your eye, have it evaluated. It could be the find of a lifetime. Before you go, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more tips on finding rare coins, learning their true value, and getting one step closer to the wealthy life you've dreamed of. You could be one penny away from $1 million story. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Imagine holding in your hand what seems like a simple, everyday penny. Now, what if I told you that this humble little coin could be worth $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that could pave the way to a life-changing fortune. But here's the kicker, it's not just any penny. It's the 2000 Abraham Lincoln no-mint mark penny, a coin with a story as unique as its extraordinary value. How did a penny minted just over 2 decades ago end up fetching prices most of us would only dream of? And could you actually be holding one of these $1 million coins without even knowing it? Today, we're diving into the remarkable world of rare coins, where something as small as a penny can make an enormous difference in your bank account. But stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share the key secrets you must know if you ever hope to sell one of these coins for top dollar. So, let's break down the mystery of this legendary penny. Why is this 2000 Lincoln penny so special, and what makes it worth so much? To understand, we need to go back, just a little. The Lincoln wheat penny, minted from 1909 to 1958, has been the icon of American coinage. But the 2000 Lincoln penny we're talking about isn't even a wheat penny, it's something far rarer, more subtle. It's what collectors call a no-mint mark coin, meaning there's no small letter indicating where it was minted. These kinds of quirks? They make collectors absolutely crazy. In the coin world, tiny details equal big money. But wait, before you run to your spare change drawer, take a breath. Not every no-mint 2000 Lincoln penny is worth a fortune. Here's where it gets tricky, and this is exactly why many people end up disappointed. Only a specific type of no-mint mark penny from 2000, in near-perfect condition, is drawing these sky-high prices. And that brings us to an important question. How can you tell if your penny could be worth $1 million? Well, it's all in the details. Collectors and experts look for specific traits. Think of them like clues in a treasure hunt. First, let's talk condition. For this penny to be truly valuable, it must be in what collectors call mint state. Essentially, that means the penny looks almost brand new, hardly any scratches, no smudges. Picture a coin that's been sitting untouched, like it was never circulated at all. That's what they're looking for. Next, there's the all-important grading. Professional coin grading services assign a grade to coins, with MS 68 or higher being the holy grail for this particular penny. Anything below that? Sure, it might fetch you a few bucks, but we're here to talk about the big leagues, aren't we? Alright, by now, you might be feeling a little anxious. Excited, maybe? But also, a bit of that FOMO creeping in. What if you missed out on one of these coins? Or worse, what if you had one and spent it on a soda? But don't worry, you're not alone. Most people have no idea just how valuable these coins are, and that means opportunity is still on the table for those who know where to look. So, you're probably wondering, what's next? How do I go from having a potential gold mine in my pocket to actually cashing it in? Well, here's where things get serious. You don't just sell these coins anywhere. The right buyer, at the right time, can make the difference between a few $1,000s and that life-changing million. And here's the kicker. Most collectors are completely unaware of the specialized auctions and rare coin experts who would pay top dollar for a mint condition, 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. If you're holding on to one of these treasures, selling it without the right strategy would be like throwing money out the window. Now, let's take a moment to dream. Imagine what $1 million payday could mean for you. Maybe it's finally getting that dream home. Maybe it's creating a secure future for your family. Or maybe it's as simple as a well-deserved vacation to the most exotic place you can imagine. And all from a penny. Just one little penny. But here's the truth, these opportunities don't come often, and the demand for these rare coins is only growing. If you think you might be one of the lucky few who has this coin sitting in a drawer, waiting, don't hesitate. Check your change, consult an expert, get your coin graded. This could be your moment. Will you let it slip by? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of hidden treasures. Remember, fortune favors the prepared, and sometimes the prepared are just one penny away from $1 million surprise. Hit that subscribe button to uncover more secrets of high-value collectibles. Who knows? Next time, it might just be your hidden gem we're talking about. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious value of an ordinary-looking coin, the 2007 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny. Now, imagine a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard right, one penny valued at a staggering $655,000. How could this be possible? Why would anyone pay so much for a coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance? And the real question is, could you be holding one of these rare pennies right now without even knowing? Let's dive in and reveal not just what makes this coin so special, but how you could turn an overlooked piece of change into a gateway to wealth, security, and a life of comfort. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you're about to learn how 1 cent can be the key to financial freedom. So, what's the deal with this seemingly ordinary coin? First, it's important to understand that the 2007 D-Wheat penny isn't just any coin. The D signifies that it was minted in Denver, and collectors are particularly fond of certain rare variations that came out of that mint. When we're talking about value in the coin world, it's the smallest details, imperfections, unique markings, or a slight variance in the minting process. That can mean everything. Imagine you're holding a penny that most people overlook, but it's the one penny that collectors everywhere are desperate to find. Why? Because certain versions of this 2007 D-Wheat penny hold a mystery, a rarity that only a trained eye would recognize. Some feature misalignments, doubling of certain details, or faint errors that most people would never notice. These tiny differences mean that only a handful of these coins have that coveted $500,000 value. Now, you might be thinking, that's nice, but does anyone really care about these things? I mean, it's just a penny. But that's exactly where people miss out. Collectors and investors are willing to pay astronomical sums because these coins represent rarity, history, and the thrill of uncovering treasure. And here's where things get interesting. There's no telling where these coins might be hiding. They could be in your old coin jar, the back of your drawer, or even in that handful of change you got with your morning coffee. The reveal: how you can act on this knowledge and find your fortune. So, how do you identify a 2007 D Lincoln Wheat penny that could be worth $655,000? First, look for the basics, the D Mint mark from Denver, and check the year. Then, inspect closely, preferably with a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, for any signs of doubling or unique imperfections. These small differences are what separate an everyday penny from a jackpot. You're not just looking for a penny, you're looking for an opportunity to change your financial future. Imagine this: discovering that rare coin and knowing that your simple discovery could secure your family's future. It's a treasure hunt, and one that could pay off in unimaginable ways. Alright, here's the truth. Millions of these pennies were minted, but only a tiny fraction hold that immense value. Some people, eager to cash in, might sell their coins without knowing what they have. And here's where you don't want to fall into the trap. Do not be quick to sell. Reach out to a professional appraiser or a trusted coin dealer. Remember, the rarer the coin, the more care it deserves. Taking the time to check and confirm the value could mean the difference between a few dollars and hundreds of thousands. Imagine finding that treasure, that piece of history that could secure your family's future, all from the change jar or an old penny saved away. It's not a fairy tale. People just like you have done it. So, here's your challenge: start digging. Take a look through your old pennies, your change jars, your forgotten coin stashes. Could you be sitting on a small fortune? Don't just wonder, find out. It's time to take action, and you never know, one simple penny could make all the difference. Imagine pulling an old penny from your drawer, dusty, forgotten, and then discovering that it could be worth a staggering $1.2 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Think about it, a life-changing find hiding in plain sight. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of rare pennies, focusing on one in particular, the 1991 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's capturing serious attention. But here's the twist. This isn't just some fairy tale story about finding hidden treasure. This penny, produced in 1991, has an intriguing past, and its current value is soaring. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so special, where its jaw-dropping value comes from, and most importantly, how to know if you've got one just like it. Did you know? Pennies from your pocket change, coins you barely notice, could secretly be worth millions. And some people don't even know what they're sitting on. Could you be one of them? Alright, let's break down why this 1991 penny is causing such a stir. It's a fascinating case. For starters, there's no mint mark. Now, normally coins have a tiny letter stamped onto them to show where they were made, whether it's Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this penny? Nothing. Just Lincoln staring back at you, with no clues to its origin. It's like a mystery novel where one crucial detail is missing. Quick question, ever lose your keys, only to find them hiding in plain sight? That's what's happening with these pennies. They're easy to overlook, hiding among countless coins, and yet, they're rare and potentially worth a fortune. But here's where it gets really interesting. Unlike the typical wheat pennies from the 40s and 50s, this 1991 penny wasn't supposed to be valuable at all. It was made of zinc with a thin copper coating, like most modern pennies. Yet, a few coins from this batch possess unique flaws and characteristics that make them worth, well, you guessed it, a jaw-dropping amount. How could that even be possible? And if you're thinking, could I have one? Well, keep watching. The signs might be subtler than you think, and you don't want to miss them. The secret behind this 1991 Lincoln penny's astronomical value lies in its rarity, and the demand it's generating among collectors. See, collectors go absolutely wild for coins with specific minting errors or unique features, and this penny? It has them all. Sometimes it's the tiniest details that make all the difference. A small error in design. A unique die break, which, simply put, is when the metal press used to mint the coin cracks, creating a one-of-a-kind imprint. Now imagine, you hold a coin with an identical, rare flaw, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. It's the ultimate collector's dream, finding a needle in the haystack. A once ordinary penny now sought after by those who know its worth. Let's be honest, isn't it ironic? We all drop pennies in our couch cushions, but some are out here changing lives. Imagine waking up tomorrow, finding out that hidden somewhere in your loose change, you hold $1 million piece. How would that impact your life? What would you do first? This penny, it's more than just copper and zinc. It could be a gateway to a completely new lifestyle. Now, before you start digging through your change jar, here's what you need to know to identify a 1991 no-mint mark penny that could be the one. Look closely at the Lincoln portrait. Some rare versions have tiny die cracks that set them apart. You might need a magnifying glass, but for a potential $1 million find, it's worth it. But here's the thing, with so many similar pennies out there, could you really have a valuable one? Experts say there's only one way to be sure, and that's getting it authenticated by a professional coin grader. Yes, I know, a coin grader sounds a bit old school. But think of them like the treasure hunters of the modern age. They're the ones who can spot the gold among copper and give you the certainty you need. Now imagine you're holding this coin in your hand, and a certified expert tells you, this penny? It's worth over $1 million. Feels incredible, doesn't it? So, what's the next step? Start with the coins you already own. Search your old jars, your drawers, anywhere change collects dust. And once you have a suspect, consider getting it checked. If you've got a hidden gem, it's going to be worth every second of the hunt. In a world where people search for wealth in the stock market, real estate, and business ventures, sometimes, the simplest things hold the most potential. This 1991 Lincoln penny is a reminder that sometimes, hidden value is right in front of us, waiting to be uncovered. Imagine holding a penny in your hand, yes, just one little penny, worth a staggering $1.6 million. Now ask yourself this: could you have that kind of fortune hiding in an old jar, or forgotten in your drawer? If you're sitting on any spare change, especially those older, dusty pennies, stick around, because you might just be sitting on $1 million secret. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover how the 1961 Lincoln penny with a rare D mint mark could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. But remember, these coins are so rare that even coin collectors might miss them, and prices are skyrocketing. So don't miss out, because, let's face it, who wouldn't want to turn a penny into a windfall? Coins have long been one of the most underrated treasures in the United States. You see, people focus on gold or silver, but did you know that a single copper penny could be worth more than a car, a house, even a year's salary? Yes, in 1961, a small number of Lincoln pennies were minted with a distinct D mark, signifying the Denver Mint. Now, here's the kicker: a few of these coins have unique errors, making them rare and immensely valuable. Now, let's go back to 1961 for a moment. What was happening in America? John F. Kennedy was president, Elvis ruled the radio, and the Denver Mint, while churning out coins, unknowingly created what could be your hidden gold mine. Hey, quick question: when's the last time you even looked at a penny? Be honest. Or do you just throw them into a jar and forget about them? Now that you're still with me, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Why would anyone pay $1.6 million for a penny? Well, here's why. Not all 1961 Lincoln pennies are created equal. There are specific varieties and errors that make certain ones stand out. A few rare coins from this year have what's known as a double die error, meaning some details were stamped twice. You can see the doubling effect on Lincoln's portrait or on the text if you're looking closely. This is rare, and coin collectors go wild for it. But wait, how do you tell if your penny is the one? How can you identify those valuable characteristics that set the true million-dollar coins apart from the rest? Alright, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1961 penny with a D mint mark is actually worth a fortune? Start by grabbing a magnifying glass, or better yet, visit a professional appraiser. Look for visible doubling in the lettering, and the pristine condition of the coin is key. Grading companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, are essential in verifying your coin's authenticity and grading it for maximum value. This isn't just about flipping an old coin, it's about making sure it's properly certified, which can make all the difference in market value. Now, don't go running to the couch cushions just yet. But let's be real, you've already thought about it, right? Here's the thing, just imagine, if your penny turns out to be the rare, double-die 1961 Lincoln penny, you could be holding the ticket to an early retirement, or maybe the dream lifestyle you've always wanted. But here's the truth, these opportunities don't last. With every auction and private sale, the pool of available coins shrinks, and prices keep climbing. Missing this could mean watching someone else live your dream. So, will you be the one to discover a fortune lying hidden among your spare change? Or will you let this opportunity pass by, wondering what could have been? Take action now. Check your change, search those old coin jars, and give that 1961 Lincoln penny a second look. Because your dream lifestyle could just be hiding in plain sight. Would you believe me if I told you that a single penny, one you could find hidden in an old collection or even tucked away in a drawer, might be worth over $1 million today? Yes, a single penny. The 1964 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. It's one of the rarest, most sought-after coins in existence, and it could be hiding right under your nose. And no, I'm not talking about digging through your couch cushions hoping for loose change. I'm talking about a once-in-a-lifetime find, a collector's dream. But why, exactly, would a penny minted in 1964 be valued at $1.4 million today? What makes it worth more than some people's entire retirement funds? Stick around, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the details you'll want to know before you start tearing apart your old coin collection. This penny's hidden value isn't just luck, it's about history, rarity, and something even more surprising. Let's rewind back to 1964. Picture this. The Beatles are topping the charts, Martin Luther King Jr. has just received the Nobel Peace Prize, and the U.S. Mint is quietly producing what will become one of the most valuable coins in history, the 1964 Mint Mark Lincoln penny. But here's the twist. Most people didn't even realize this coin existed. Crazy, right? It's like realizing you've been driving a car for decades without noticing it's a limited edition collector's item. Imagine what else we're missing out on. So, what sets this coin apart? First, the D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, is key. It's one of the rarest mint marks for a 1964 penny, but there's more. The US Mint stopped using silver in certain coins that same year, which added value to those few pennies that had unique metals or mintage errors. And the 1964 penny? Well, it slipped through the cracks as a rare breed that would later skyrocket in value. But here's where things get intense. Finding one of these coins isn't just a matter of looking. There's something you must know if you're going to recognize one, something that only experts and die-hard collectors understand. And trust me, missing this could mean leaving serious money on the table. So, how can you tell if you have one of these hidden gems? First, the mint mark. You'll need to look closely at the D under the date. It's subtle and often barely visible. Second, pay attention to the wear on the coin. True million-dollar pennies from 1964 are usually in near-mint condition because they'd been preserved, forgotten, in collections for decades. And no, I'm not saying every D penny is going to be worth seven figures. But if you find one that's been untouched, untarnished, and has that iconic mint mark, well, you could be looking at the key to a life-changing payday. Now, here's the big question. How do you cash in if you're lucky enough to find one? Don't just run to your nearest pawn shop. This is where careful, informed steps make the difference between a quick few $100 and potentially millions. Ready to learn how to ensure you get every penny's worth? Here's your roadmap. Step 1. Authentication. Before you do anything, get your coin authenticated by a reputable numismatist, a coin expert. This is crucial. Without verification, most buyers won't even consider taking a look. Step 2. Connect with auction houses, not quick sell dealers. Auction houses specialize in rare items, and they have networks of wealthy collectors who will bid for something as extraordinary as a 1964 D mint mark penny. And the final step? Be prepared. When you're looking at a rare coin valued at over $1 million, the potential for life-changing money is there. But remember, knowledge is your best bargaining chip. And no, don't let your neighbor's friend's cousin make you an offer you can't refuse. This is serious business. You're in the Millionaires Club now. So, what are you waiting for? Go dust off those old collections, check those coin jars, and see if your fortune is waiting. Because that penny you've overlooked for years just might be the key to the wealthy life you've been dreaming of. A single 1971 Abraham Lincoln penny, hiding in an old jar, could be worth not $1, not even $10,000, but a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, and this isn't just a wild story. Today, we're diving deep into one of America's most iconic and mysterious coins, the 1971 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and discovering what makes it so valuable, why collectors are clamoring for it, and how you could uncover one of your very own. But don't blink, because every detail counts. So, what's so special about a penny? After all, we all toss them into jars, car cup holders, or even between couch cushions, right? Well, certain pennies have something else in common. They are the diamonds in the rough, the pennies that transform ordinary people into millionaires. And this 1971 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, is one of the most sought after of them all. Think about it, an ordinary coin from a grocery store, a bank, or found in an old purse, could actually hold hidden value beyond most people's imaginations. But here's the kicker, most people don't even know about it. Many could have it right in their homes without realizing it's worth a fortune. So, why is this no-mint mark 1971 penny so valuable? What secrets are hidden within its copper surface? And why should you start hunting for it now? Now, before you go dumping out every penny jar in your house, hang tight. I'll share exactly what to look for, so you can know if your penny is the rare, jackpot-worthy kind, or just a penny better left in the jar. Here's where things get fascinating. In the world of coin collecting, a mint mark is the tiny letter, usually a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, which tells you where the coin was made. But this specific 1971 Lincoln penny was struck with no mint mark at all, something that's as rare as it is valuable. Why does this matter? Because back in 1971, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia sometimes produced pennies without marking them, creating a tiny number of no mint mark pennies that are now worth a small fortune. The fact that it's a Philadelphia Mint coin without the mark made it an error coin, a happy accident that resulted in limited supply and massive demand. When there's a market of hungry collectors, even a small difference like this can explode a coin's value. And here's where the emotional roller coaster begins. Just knowing these coins exist and are out there somewhere is enough to get hearts racing and hands shaking. Just wait, because the story doesn't stop at no mint mark. There's another secret feature about this coin that could turn it from worth a few $100s into a cool million. Stick with me. Ever wonder if you've been spending something worth $1 million on a soda this whole time? Well, maybe you have. So, if you're hoping to find this rare penny, what exactly should you look for? First, flip the coin and inspect its surface. You're searching for a clean, distinct, no mint mark. Below the date, if you don't see a D or an S, you're off to a great start. But here's where the stakes rise even higher. The value of a coin isn't just about its features. Condition plays a huge role. This 1971 penny needs to be in pristine shape, with minimal wear or corrosion, to reach those record-breaking values. Let's talk numbers. If your penny is in excellent, almost uncirculated condition, it can bring in $10,000 to $100,000. But to hit that $1 million mark, it must be in gem mint condition, as sharp and clear as the day it was struck. The rarity of such a condition only heightens the thrill and the urgency. That's what the collectors want, the perfect coin. Now, here's the part no one wants to miss. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Right now, collectors and investors are buying up these pieces left and right. So, every day you wait could mean missing that life-changing opportunity. Imagine finding this penny, holding it in your hand, knowing it could change everything, but only if you act fast. And hey, imagine explaining to your friends that your new house was bought by a penny. Bet they'd ask a lot more questions the next time you drop a coin, so here's the challenge. Go on, check those jars, those old coin collections, even the coins hiding in drawers or under the seats of your car. You never know if you're holding the next big treasure. And remember, with the right knowledge and a bit of luck, you could be holding history, and a fortune, in the palm of your hand. Don't wait. Don't let this opportunity slip by. The 1971 no mint mark penny is out there, waiting for someone to claim its $1 million mystery. Imagine discovering a small, unassuming penny in your drawer, the kind you've probably seen 1,000 times, and realizing it's worth over $1.2 million. Yes, a single penny. Can you believe that? And here's the kicker, this isn't some rare antique. It's a 1976 Lincoln penny with the Denver mint mark, just like the coins you've seen since childhood. So, what makes this penny worth a fortune? And could you have one hidden away, right under your nose? But before we dive into the incredible details of this 1-in-a-million penny, think about this. Have you ever wondered what treasures might be hiding in your old coin jar? That collection in the back of your drawer might just hold your key to financial freedom. Ready to discover the potential in your spare change? Let's unravel the secrets of this historic penny and why it's sparking excitement among coin collectors and everyday people alike. Now, before we get to what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny so special, let's talk about why this tiny copper coin holds such high value. In the world of coin collecting, a penny's worth can skyrocket because of errors, rarity, or unique markings, and this penny ticks all the right boxes. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for pennies with minting errors, and the 1976 penny has its fair share of unique traits. But let's pause for a second. What if I told you that a tiny letter, barely visible, could mean the difference between a few cents and $1 million payout? Now, the key feature here is the D Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. This isn't just any D, there's a very particular detail on these pennies, a subtle error that only trained eyes can spot. And that's why, right now, people are hunting down 1976 pennies to see if they have the right one. Imagine, while most pennies from that year are ordinary, a select few were minted with a unique flaw, and it's that flaw that has collectors scrambling. But what exactly is this flaw? And what does it mean for the penny in your pocket? And, by the way, don't go rummaging through your coin jar just yet. Trust me, you'll want to know what you're looking for, or you might just end up mistaking any old penny for a gold mine. Alright, here's the reveal. A 1976 Lincoln penny with this specific error, a faint doubling in the design and a slight misalignment, has become one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever known. And with only a handful in existence, demand has soared. That's why in recent auctions, these pennies have fetched prices upwards of $1.2 million. Think about it, a penny could bring in more than most people's yearly income, or even buy you a luxury car, a dream home, or an entire life transformation. Now, does that sound like something you'd pass up? But there's a catch, not just any 1976 penny will do, and finding the right one could be trickier than it sounds. So how can you identify the one among the millions of 1976 pennies? Let's break it down step by step. First, you'll need a magnifying glass. Check for doubling on the Lincoln Memorial and other parts of the design. Next, examine the D Mint mark. Subtle irregularities can mean the difference between pocket change and fortune. Also, condition matters. Coins graded higher, even without errors, attract collectors. Yes, an ordinary penny can become worth millions when graded in top condition by organizations like PCGS or NGC. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your coins, especially any 1976 Lincoln pennies you might have lying around. The market for these rare finds is booming, and demand isn't going anywhere. Every day, collectors snatch up high-grade, error pennies. And the next one could be yours. Imagine how your life could change with one coin. Whether it's travel, financial freedom, or a luxurious lifestyle, finding the right penny could be your ticket to all of it. And who knows, you might be sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. So, don't just leave your fortune lying around. Grab that coin jar and start hunting. Because sometimes, the road to a wealthy lifestyle begins with a penny. A 1-cent coin hiding in your spare change jar, collecting dust, seemingly worthless. But what if I told you, tucked within that handful of copper, there's a penny that could change your life? A single coin worth $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth over $1 million. Intrigued? You should be, because one of these is out there. But the question is, could it be in your pocket? So, here's what you need to know to find this rare 1978 Lincoln penny, the very coin that's turning ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Now, don't just run to your wallet just yet. There are specific details, and missing any one of them could mean the difference between a regular penny and $1 million find. Let's rewind to the late 1970s. America was in the midst of rapid change, the technology boom, economic shifts, disco music on every corner. But something very special was happening in the world of coins. In 1978, at the Denver Mint, a unique batch of Abraham Lincoln 1-cent pennies was made. And among these, a few were produced with anomalies so rare they'd become nearly priceless. And let's be honest, wouldn't we all prefer finding this in our couch cushions instead of old popcorn kernels? So, why is this specific coin so valuable? In the world of coin collectors, even the tiniest error, the faintest mark, or a subtle variation can mean big money. The 1978 penny we're looking for has these subtle differences. It's not a penny you can just stumble upon and recognize. You have to look closely, because only trained eyes can spot these specific details. And here's where it gets intense. Many people, Even those who know a bit about coin collecting overlook this. So, what's the secret to spotting it? What are these unique signs that could make your penny worth $1,000,000? Let's dive into the 3 critical markers that make this coin a collector's holy grail. First up, the mint mark. The 1978 D penny has a very distinct D that was stamped at the Denver Mint. But not every D is the same. You'll need to check for a tiny misalignment, or doubling effect on the mark. This isn't something you'll spot at a glance. You need good lighting, maybe even a magnifying glass. If you see any sign of doubling or a slight variation, you might just have hit the jackpot. And hey, no shame in busting out the magnifying glass, even if you feel like Sherlock Holmes searching for clues. Next, let's talk about the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Yes, even Honest Abe's face holds secrets. Look for a slight misalignment on his cheek and jawline, a barely there doubling that gives this coin its unique era signature. This detail, invisible to most, is a clear marker of rarity. Imagine holding a penny for years, totally unaware it's worth a fortune, only to let it slip away. The fear of missing out, of losing what could be a life-changing opportunity, has haunted many who sold their old coins without a second glance. But there's one final marker, one more detail that could turn your ordinary penny into a $1.2 million prize. And trust me, this one's a game changer. Ready for it? Let's talk about the color. The color of the copper is key. Over time, pennies get worn, tarnished, and lose their original luster. But if your 1978 D penny has maintained a brighter, almost untouched copper hue, it's a sign that this coin may have been preserved under unique conditions, making it highly desirable to collectors. Add in the misaligned mint mark, the doubled image on Lincoln's portrait, and that near mint copper color, and you have a treasure beyond measure. So, what do you do now? Grab that coin jar, find your old pennies, and start looking. The thrill of discovering one of these rare coins is within reach. And if you don't do it, someone else will, someone who might turn what you overlooked into a $1 million windfall. Now, here's where I leave you with a choice. You could walk away, forget about this, or put it off for another day. But what if the coin you need is right there, in your drawer? That single penny that could transform your future, make your dreams come true, and let you live the lifestyle you've always wanted. So, will you take the chance? Or let the possibility of a $1 million fortune slip through your fingers? Opportunities like this don't come often. Right now, that $1 million penny could be within your reach. Go find it, and when you do, remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest surprises.